Next up on the list. What is this one called? The protomorph?
The Neomorph.
The Neomorph. Yeah. You know what, man? I hear a lot of shit about the Neomorph. Oh, Covenant, the alien wasn't even scary. He was pretty fucking cool, all right?
the Neomorph is, behind David, the best part of Alien Covenant.
I'm being honest.
Neomorph looks cool. I mean, it's like if you took a Xenomorph but made him like a weird naked man.
Yeah. I mean, I could name a couple negatives. One big negative for me was that woman's death scene when she went over to the well. She split up from everybody. The way they set up that jump scare was just annoying. I hated it. So I could take a couple points off for that.
But is that a negative of the alien itself or of the movie?
Of the movie, we were just talking about how the execution of this alien in Resurrection, we can't contradict ourselves. The execution plays a factor. You know what I mean? So the Neomorph, unfortunately, had a really bad scene with that lead up, but it also had really great scenes. Decent scenes. let me slow my roll. My bad.
One great scene.
Yeah, go
the
ahead.
backburster.
Yeah, I love the backburster. People say that's a separate alien. At least the list I saw did. It's not. It's a baby version.
It's baby version.
Which is why we didn't.
Morons.
Which is why we didn't put the chest burster on here. It's a baby version. So, So we just, and it will encompass it entirely. These little shits, these little fucking things do so much damage, it's ridiculous. And it's like whenever the Neomorph, I'm going to make this canonical. Whenever the Neomorph is involved and is near other living organisms, the living organisms near them lose IQ points. That's what happens. I'm telling you, when
their aura.
The Neomorph has a splash damage attack or has one of that aura effect where if you're near it, your brain cells start diving off a cliff. It has to happen. So just because of that alone, you can't put it at F. You know what I mean? You just can't, because he's making his prey dumber. It's crazy.
Yeah. And I like that the Neomorphs they feel more primal than a Xenomorph does. Like they simply just attack. They're not really like strategic in what they're doing, you know? Like the Xenomorphs, every time they kill someone, it feels careful. Like they're not just charging straight at you. And, you know, the Neomorph does have a bit of that, but it also just charges straight at you.
Right.
So I like that small little change in behavior, and that it's a Xenomorph, but it's not really.
Yeah, it's imperfect. That's the thing, because of its strategy, right? Which is why David's trying to make him better and better, because right now it's not perfect. Eventually, when the alien does come around, which is crazy to think, because the alien's supposed to be the perfect organism, but in Covenant, he's just running. The fucking thing is just running and is going head first into these fights instead of, being an alien and sneaking in the vents. That's the movie's contradictory sense of it. It is what it is. Yeah. But I enjoy the Neomorph. It is definitely a rougher version of the Xeno, but it's still really cool in concept, had some really cool kills. I just really wish it was in a better movie.
Yep. Don't we all?
So how do you feel about this one?
Honestly, I'm tempted to put, the movie ain't great, but I'm tempted to put the Neomorph itself in A. Simply because it's a rough Xenomorph. And it's easily the best part of the movie. It looks cool. It's not a one-to-one design of the Xenomorph, which I like. Again, it's more rough around the edges. It looks a bit more human-like. I like the appearance of it. I do think it is pretty scary, especially when you take into account the back bursting. Shit is fucking terrifying. So I think, for me personally, I think the Neomorph is an A-tier alien. I would have liked to see more of it, but I don't want to see more Covenant.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
I think it would have definitely been better in a different context, but I can't put. So. For me personally, I don't think A is an appropriate position. The thing is, I wouldn't put it below a trilobite or a predalien, I'd probably leave it at B. That's what I think.
You think so?
Yeah, because mainly at the end of the day, you got to think, once again, it's a lesser version of Xenomorph, but it's also extremely derivative. You know what I mean? And you also got to keep in mind that it had, all the opportunities to kill multiple of these guys. I mean, they're practically bulletproof or whatever, and they como se said, they were able to kill quite a few, but when they were in that grass, they should have been able to kill more. I just think it seemed. I'm trying to speak English. It's hard for me. The Neomorph, the Neomorph for me it's just wildly derivative, and it's not really something that I find unique or way too enticing. I do like a few things, but overall, I feel like if it was in a better movie, I'd feel better about it, you know? But it just wasn't. And this movie made everything dumb, including the aliens. So, considering it's its only outing, it's hard for me to put it in A. I think B is a solid pick, because I can't put it at C either, because it's not no fucking Hammerpede, and it's not the Deacon that did nothing. You know?
Yeah, no, the Neomorphs are memorable. Yeah. But it's also in a movie where there's not really many other memorable things.
Yeah, I just have to put it in
So it's when you surround it with the context that the Neomorph is not as imposing or memorable. But, you know, within Alien Covenant, it is easily one of the best parts of the movie. Absolutely. It adds the scariness that the movie so desperately needs. Except it's gone for like half the movie, because it shows up, it runs off into the night, and then it's gone until like the third act.
See, I remember we talked about Covenant, right? And I mentioned a scene that would have made this movie so much better. Is that part when they were in the grass, instead of them just shooting wildly and looking around, oh, where is he? Where is he? It would have been a coordinated effort, and they all go back to back, and David's there with the scanner, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and you can hear the pulsing, da-da-da, da-da-da. You know, and you could see like they're sitting there. Oh, where's he coming from? Then one gets picked off. Oh shit! You know, and like a back-to-back format where they were all being very tactical. The wounded in the middle of the circle, and they all have these. They have this big formation that they take on these aliens, and they're popping out of the grass. But that's not what happened here. They were all just looking around like dumb idiots, scared to death. You know what I mean? Yeah. Give these aliens more respect than that. Give them a more imposing force. Go ahead. Why not?
Yeah, because they're supposedly perfect organisms.
Right. But unfortunately, they're close to perfect. But you see what I mean? It's just not the amount of respect that these aliens deserve. Give them people that don't just split up because, oh, I gotta go clean off my arms. Let me go off alone. You know what I mean? Why are we doing that? Why is that something that we do? It's stupid. Why are people splitting up? Why are people, why are people not, trained enough to get together and shoot at one common enemy? It just doesn't make any sense. I think one of the big things for me was that fucking ship exploding. She fumbled the bag 3 different times. She slipped on blood. She got her leg trapped in the door and then blew up the ship. So immediately you're thinking, okay, he must have an aura effect that just drops brain cells. It's the only way.
It's the only explanation for how fucking dumb these characters are.
I'm being honest, you know? Yeah. So, but that's my thing, is that the fact that you don't give this alien more imposing threats just lessens the danger of the alien. You know? If you gave him more imposing threats, like let's say they had a few Colonial Marines with them, you know what I mean? Like that would be sick. They had security personnel with them. So let's say the Colonial Marines wasn't a thing. I'm not sure. But they had security personnel with them. You're telling me the security personnel isn't coordinated enough to fucking, we gotta get back to back, everyone between us, you know, that kind of, everyone behind us, that kind of thing. Give them more security personnel. It may be cannon fodder or whatever, but you already have plenty of that. So go all in.
It just makes it seem like the security personnel they have are like mall cops.
Yeah.
Or like nightclub bouncers.
Yeah, they have no idea how to handle this kind of situation, and that's not something you want, you know?
Yeah, the aliens are supposed to feel smart, and while the Neomorph does feel a bit more primal, it's also that he's not really dealing with smart characters.
That's the thing, you know, like when you see a xenomorph take out the Colonial Marines in the second and the original crew in the first, these are smart people making smart decisions. Same with Romulus. Like, these are people who make a couple of dumb decisions, but they're completely human. And even when you make the right decisions, you're still punished for them. You know what I mean? It's just because the xenomorph is that perfect of an organism. And so if you wanted to give your Neomorph more weight, give it characters that actually make good decisions. But that's the thing, you never did. So immediately all the aliens that are involved with that get lessened because they're not facing foe equivalent to the previous. You know? That's it.
It's also a thing of, you know, you mentioned the scene where the lady slipped on blood and then, you know, she tried to shoot it and she accidentally blew up the ship. It would have made the Neomorph more imposing if she didn't accidentally blow up the ship, but if that was the only choice that she had in the moment.
I'm so happy you brought that up. Yes! That's literally... See what I mean? We're already thinking of better things. You got it.
Yeah.
Why not?
It would have made it seem like a last ditch effort. It's just, okay, this is the only thing I can do to save everyone else from having to deal with this alien. Is I can't kill it, so I have to kill both of us.
That's real. I want her to do some sort of self-sacrifice, but unfortunately, like I want them to find a way to do a self-sacrifice where she thinks she's only going to take out a room or something. Like she thinks she's going to blow herself up, but not the rest of the shit. But then it quickly escalates, like right before she can snuff the flame or whatever. And it's like, oh fuck, and then the whole shit blows up. Like she tries to sacrifice, and then it doesn't work out because the alien senses it and does something. Something like that.
It's where like it backfires in her face.
Yeah.
I guess like a shorter example of that would be in Halloween Kills, when the lady tried shooting Michael Myers. He just opened the door, hit her gun, and made her shoot herself. So it'd be something like that, but with the alien.
Well, that's my thing. And like at the end of the day, we can say like, but I still don't mind that. Just her blowing up the ship regardless, because that ship, ship in the fucking sky can still come down. You know what I mean? Yeah. And as far as she knows, that's the only alien. She don't know. Yeah.
And didn't it survive?
I don't know. I think
the explosion. I think it left.
I'm not sure, but
I gotta look at it again.
Regardless, if it fucking didn't, it doesn't matter. It's just the fact that we have aliens that are decent in design and they're really fucking cool, but they're going up against enemies that have absolutely no business fighting aliens. Yeah. It just brings it down entirely for me. I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, I think that B tier is fair enough. I know it doesn't look even on the list, but it is what it is.
Close enough.
Yeah, that's real.